Hi, welcome to the quiz. You can answer along on quizalto.com, all for free. The exact URL of this quiz will be in the notes down below. Let's get started. Good luck. How does AWS Cloud9 help in managing AWS resources? AWS Cloud9 uses a GUI-based tool for AWS resource management without CLI support. AWS Cloud9 requires manual installation of AWS CLI for resource management. AWS Cloud9 provides a terminal with AWS CLI and SDKs pre-installed, enabling easy management of AWS resources. AWS Cloud9 does not offer any tools for managing AWS resources. AWS Cloud9 facilitates resource management by providing a terminal pre-configured with AWS CLI and SDKs. What AWS service does AWS Cloud9 use to provide computing power for development environments? AWS Cloud9 uses AWS Lambda for running the development environment. AWS Cloud9 relies on AWS S3 for computing power. AWS Cloud9 operates using AWS CloudFormation templates. AWS Cloud9 uses Amazon EC2 instances to provide the necessary computing power for development environments. AWS Cloud9 utilizes Amazon EC2 instances to deliver the required computing resources for development environments. Can AWS Cloud9 be used for web development? AWS Cloud9 only supports backend development, not web development. Yes, AWS Cloud9 supports web development with features like live preview and browser compatibility testing. No, AWS Cloud9 is not designed for web development. AWS Cloud9 requires additional tools for web development. AWS Cloud9 is well suited for web development, offering features such as live preview and browser compatibility testing to streamline the process. What type of projects is AWS Cloud9 most suitable for? AWS Cloud9 is only suitable for web development projects. AWS Cloud9 is suitable for a wide range of projects, including web development, serverless applications, and mobile app development. AWS Cloud9 is limited to server-side applications. AWS Cloud9 can only be used for academic projects. AWS Cloud9's versatility makes it suitable for various types of projects, such as web development, serverless applications, and mobile app development. How does AWS Cloud9 support team development? AWS Cloud9 restricts team development to one developer per environment. AWS Cloud9 team development is limited to asynchronous code reviews. AWS Cloud9 allows multiple team members to share an environment and collaborate in real time, with shared terminal and chat features. AWS Cloud9 supports team development only through external communication tools. AWS Cloud9's features like shared environments, real-time collaboration, shared terminal, and chat enhance team development. How can you extend the functionality of AWS Cloud9? You can extend AWS Cloud9's functionality by installing additional packages and plugins. AWS Cloud9's functionality cannot be extended. AWS Cloud9 requires AWS support to add new functionalities. AWS Cloud9 only supports a fixed set of built-in tools without any extensions. AWS Cloud9 allows users to install additional packages and plugins to enhance and tailor the development environment to their specific needs. What is a notable feature of AWS Cloud9 for mobile development? AWS Cloud9 requires external emulators for mobile development testing. AWS Cloud9 does not support mobile development. AWS Cloud9 supports mobile development with emulators and simulators for testing applications. AWS Cloud9 is limited to backend development only. AWS Cloud9 provides emulators and simulators that facilitate mobile application development and testing. How does AWS Cloud9 improve the efficiency of development workflows? AWS Cloud9 integrates with various AWS services and development tools, providing a cohesive and streamlined workflow. AWS Cloud9 is only suitable for simple workflows. AWS Cloud9 does not integrate with any external tools. AWS Cloud9 complicates the workflow by requiring multiple separate tools. AWS Cloud9's integration with AWS services and development tools enhances the efficiency of development workflows by creating a cohesive environment. What is one of the main benefits of using AWS Cloud9? AWS Cloud9 provides the highest level of security among all AWS services. AWS Cloud9 significantly reduces the cost of cloud computing. AWS Cloud9 is the only tool available for developing AWS Lambda functions. One main benefit is that it allows for seamless development and deployment in the cloud, reducing the need for local development environments. AWS Cloud9 simplifies cloud-based development and deployment, making local setups unnecessary and streamlining the development process. What role does the AWS Cloud9 terminal play in AWS resource management? The terminal is only used for running local scripts. The terminal allows developers to use AWS CLI commands to manage AWS resources directly from the IDE. The terminal is used exclusively for Git commands. AWS Cloud9's terminal does not support AWS CLI commands. AWS Cloud9's terminal provides the capability to run AWS CLI commands, enabling direct management of AWS resources from the IDE. Which programming languages are supported by AWS Cloud9? AWS Cloud9 is exclusively for PHP development. AWS Cloud9 supports multiple programming languages including Python, JavaScript, PHP, and Ruby. AWS Cloud9 supports only Java and C++. AWS Cloud9 only supports Python. AWS Cloud9 is versatile and supports various languages such as Python, JavaScript, PHP, and Ruby. What kind of application can be developed using AWS Cloud9? AWS Cloud9 is exclusively for front-end development. AWS Cloud9 can only be used for database management applications. AWS Cloud9 is limited to mobile app development. AWS Cloud9 supports the development of various applications including web, serverless, and container-based applications. AWS Cloud9 is versatile and supports the development of different types of applications such as web, serverless, and container-based applications. How does AWS Cloud9 facilitate testing applications? AWS Cloud9 includes built-in tools and integrations for running and testing applications within the IDE. AWS Cloud9 is limited to manual testing processes. AWS Cloud9 lacks testing capabilities and requires external tools. AWS Cloud9 only supports testing through third-party plugins. AWS Cloud9 provides built-in tools and integrations to support the running and testing of applications, streamlining the development workflow. What is the benefit of using AWS Cloud9 for educational purposes? AWS Cloud9 does not support educational discounts. AWS Cloud9 is too complex for educational purposes. AWS Cloud9 allows students to easily access and share their coding environments, making it ideal for collaborative learning. AWS Cloud9 is only suitable for professional developers. AWS Cloud9's accessibility and sharing capabilities make it a great tool for collaborative learning in educational settings. What is the advantage of AWS Cloud9's collaborative environment feature? It requires additional tools for real-time collaboration. It only supports asynchronous collaboration through code commits. It limits access to only one user at a time. It allows multiple users to work on the same project simultaneously, with real-time changes and communication. AWS Cloud9's collaborative environment feature enables multiple users to work together in real time, enhancing team productivity. What feature of AWS Cloud9 allows for real-time collaboration? AWS Cloud9 enables collaboration through periodic code syncing. AWS Cloud9 allows multiple developers to collaborate in real time by sharing the environment and seeing each other's changes instantly. AWS Cloud9 has a feature for sending code snippets via email for collaboration. AWS Cloud9 uses version control for collaboration but not in real time. AWS Cloud9's real-time collaboration feature allows multiple developers to share an environment and see each other's changes as they happen. What is the benefit of AWS Cloud9's preconfigured environment? AWS Cloud9's environment setup requires manual configuration of all tools. The preconfigured environment saves time by providing immediate access to necessary tools and libraries for development. The preconfigured environment is only beneficial for beginners. The preconfigured environment limits customization options for developers. AWS Cloud9's preconfigured environment speeds up the development process by offering immediate access to essential tools and libraries. What is the purpose of AWS Cloud9's collaborative coding feature? AWS Cloud9 does not support collaborative coding. The collaborative coding feature allows multiple developers to work on the same codebase simultaneously, enhancing team productivity. AWS Cloud9 requires external tools for collaborative coding. AWS Cloud9's collaborative coding feature is for code reviews only. AWS Cloud9's collaborative coding feature enables real-time teamwork by allowing multiple developers to work on the same code base, thus boosting productivity. How does AWS Cloud9 help in monitoring application performance? AWS Cloud9 relies on third-party monitoring services exclusively. AWS Cloud9 has no monitoring capabilities. AWS Cloud9 can integrate with CloudWatch to provide insights into application performance and logs. AWS Cloud9 uses a proprietary monitoring tool. AWS Cloud9 integrates with AWS CloudWatch, allowing developers to monitor application performance and access logs directly from the IDE. What is a unique feature of AWS Cloud9 for managing serverless applications? AWS Cloud9 only supports server-based applications. AWS Cloud9 can only deploy serverless applications but not manage them. AWS Cloud9 provides direct integration with AWS Lambda, enabling testing and debugging of serverless applications within the IDE. AWS Cloud9 requires third-party plugins to manage serverless applications. AWS Cloud9's direct integration with AWS Lambda allows for seamless development, testing, and debugging of serverless applications within the IDE. How does AWS Cloud9 help in maintaining coding standards? AWS Cloud9 relies solely on manual code reviews for maintaining standards. AWS Cloud9 does not support any tools for maintaining coding standards. AWS Cloud9 requires external tools for code analysis but does not support them natively. AWS Cloud9 supports linting and code analysis tools to help maintain coding standards. AWS Cloud9 includes support for linting and code analysis tools that help developers maintain consistent coding standards. What type of development environments can be created with AWS Cloud9? Only EC2-based development environments can be created. AWS Cloud9 does not support SSH connections for environments. AWS Cloud9 only supports local development environments. Development environments in AWS Cloud9 can be created using EC2 instances or by connecting to SSH-enabled servers. AWS Cloud9 allows the creation of environments using EC2 instances or by connecting to existing SSH-enabled servers. What is AWS Cloud9? AWS Cloud9 is a cloud-based integrated development environment that lets you write, run, and debug your code with just a browser. AWS Cloud9 is a cloud storage service for backups and archiving. AWS Cloud9 is an AWS billing management service. AWS Cloud9 is a virtual machine management tool for running multiple VMs. AWS Cloud9 is a cloud-based IDE that supports multiple programming languages and offers features like code collaboration and debugging. What kind of development workflows does AWS Cloud9 support? AWS Cloud9 supports various development workflows including Agile, DevOps, and continuous integration. AWS Cloud9 does not support DevOps practices. AWS Cloud9 only supports Agile development workflows. AWS Cloud9 is limited to traditional waterfall development workflows. AWS Cloud9 is versatile and supports multiple development workflows, such as Agile, DevOps, and continuous integration, accommodating different project needs. What benefit does AWS Cloud9's integration with AWS CodeCommit provide? AWS Cloud9 cannot integrate with AWS CodeCommit. Integration with AWS CodeCommit allows seamless version control and collaborative coding within the IDE. AWS Cloud9's integration with AWS CodeCommit is limited to code reviews. AWS Cloud9 uses CodeCommit only for issue tracking. AWS Cloud9's integration with AWS CodeCommit facilitates version control and collaborative coding, enhancing the development workflow. And that's a wrap. Thanks to everyone who participated. Remember, you can answer along on quizalto.com, where you can keep track of your progress and find much more quizzes. We hope you had a fun and challenging time. Until next time. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more. Hit the bell icon to be notified as soon as we upload. Please leave a comment if you have any thoughts or suggestions, and, if you think this video is worth sharing with someone who could benefit from it, please forward a link to them. See you next time. Thanks for watching.